Hi, I'm Heather Dennis. Welcome to my online studio. I'm really happy you're here, and I hope to provide a lesson in calming your body and your mind and your nervous system, which is the first step to changing how you move. Let's get started. For this first sequence, you're going to need a stool or a chair or even the sofa. You could put your lower legs up on that. Something to go between your knees, perhaps a rolled up towel, or if you have one of these inflatable Pilates balls, you can use those. And just something very thin for underneath the back of your head. So I'm going to place the stool or chair on my mat. Lie down on your side and roll over onto your back with your lower legs on your chair. If you can snug the chair up so you're in more of a 90-degree position with your hip joint, that will be better. Place the ball or the towel between your knees. That gives you a reference point, and lengthen through the back of the neck. Bring your arms either down by your sides, or you can rest your hands on your belly. And what I'd like to draw your awareness to is the contact of the big bones, like your pelvic bones, your shoulder bones, the bones of your skull on the floor. Can you sense the weight of those bones dropping down into the ground? And once you feel some awareness of the back of the body and its contact with the ground, focus your awareness on your breath moving in and out of the body. No right way, no wrong way. Just focusing on the breath moving. Moving your ribs, moving your back, moving the sides of the body, moving the belly. You can hold this position for up to 15 minutes, only if it's comfortable. When you feel like you've relaxed a little bit or dropped down into the floor, or your breathing has become smoother and slower, you can organize yourself to come out of the position by taking the ball away and rolling to your side. Just pause here for a moment, lying on the floor, and then push up into a seated position. The second exercise is a postural reset exercise. You'll need something for between your knees, a blow-up ball or a rolled-up bath towel, something for underneath the back of your head, and a wall. Let's get into the position. Come and lie on your side with your feet on the wall. You want to have your knees at a right angle and your hip joint at a right angle. And then roll over onto your back, put your feet up the wall, put something underneath the back of your head. You want ideally to have a 90-degree angle in your knee and your hip. And then place your towel or your ball between your knees. Arms are to the side. Allow yourself to sink into the floor. That is such an important part of this process, is to let go into gravity. Let go into the support of the floor underneath you. Take 3 nice full breaths. And then press your feet into the wall and imagine you're pulling your heels down towards the floor without your feet moving. Put your hands back on the back of your legs, on your hamstring muscles, and sense the engagement when you do that. These muscles, we sit on them and they tend to get a little offline, so we want to wake them up. Then let that go. Again, press your feet into the wall gently and then pull your heels down the wall gently. Keep pulling your heels down and feel how that gently lifts your sit bones, or those things we sit on, away from the floor. Maintain this position so the pelvis is being gently lifted off the floor by the hamstrings, not by squeezing the bum. Now bring your arms forward, fingertips reach towards the ceiling so that you open up the space between the shoulder blades. And the ribs in that area drop down into the floor. Focus your breath in the back between the shoulder blades. As you maintain pressure of the foot into the wall, the heel pulling down, the back of the leg working, and the area between the shoulder blades dropping down into the floor while you breathe into that area. There's a lot going on here, I know, but stick with me. Take 3 or 4 smooth breaths in this position and then let it all go. To come out of the position, remove your ball, roll to your side, and press up into a seated position before we do the third exercise. The third exercise of this sequence involves a muscle called the psoas muscle, which runs from your lower ribs down into your inner thigh. It's an important hip flexor, and it also has a lot of influence over your lower back and your hip joint. It's an important muscle to both relax and activate correctly. That's what we're going to do now, is to have an isometric contraction to activate this muscle. So I want you to practice good movement hygiene, to get down onto your back by coming onto your side first, rolling over onto your back. Knees are bent, feet are standing, arms are by your side, something underneath the back of your head. Take a moment and sense the weight of your skull, the weight of your shoulder blades, the backs of the ribs dropping down into the ground, the lower back softly pressing into the ground, the pelvis heavy and laying equally from side to side on the ground. Then draw your leg up to a tabletop position. Let your lower leg dangle, and place your left hand on the front of your left thigh. Press your thigh into your hand and your hand into your thigh gently. If you were doing this on a scale of 1 to 10, you would think of doing a 4 or a 5. So not pressing so that there's a lot of tension in the body, but pressing enough that you feel that the pressure you're pressing with your leg is met by the pressure of your hand, and vice versa. Focus your breath in around the lower rib area. Not only the front, but the back and the sides. We want to think of spreading those lower back ribs with the breath as you press gently into your leg and your leg into your hand. You'll hold this for 30 seconds to a minute, depending on what level of comfort you have with this, or what level of how long you've been doing it. When you've reached the time, then gently release the pressure. Bring your arm down, then bring your foot to the floor. And observe how one side of your back feels compared to the other, how one side of your pelvis feels compared to the other. And take a breath And then change sides. Lift your right leg up to tabletop. Dangle your lower leg. That means you let go of any tension in the lower leg. Bring the right hand just below the knee. Press the thigh into the knee and the knee into the hand. Again, that 4 or 5 on a scale of 10. Gently, some gentle work. Focus your breath around the lower ribs, especially the lower back and side ribs. And noticing any parasitic tension you may be feeling in your neck, shoulder, or jaw. As you hold this gentle isometric contraction, see how smooth you can make your breath. And when you're ready, you can let off the tension of the leg, let off the tension of the hand, just like a dimmer switch. And then let your foot come to the floor. Let your arm come to the floor. Extend both legs. And sense the contact of the back of the body with the floor. When you're ready to come out, you're going to bend your knees and stand your feet. Slide your feet in, and then roll to your side. Pause on your side for a moment and use your arms to push yourself up into a seated position. These 3 exercises can be done on a daily basis. If you're stressed, they're a good antidote to the stress you're feeling, the tightness in your muscles, and perhaps pain you're feeling in your back. I suggest you use them liberally and often. I hope you enjoyed these exercises. I hope you found them useful. If you find them useful, maybe you'd like to look at some of my other work, which you'll find on my website, heatherdennis.com. Hope to see you there.